my name is Tanya, and today I'll be making chicken pot pie. It's one of my favorite. It's one pot, and I think you're gonna love it. So just try it out. This video, and I've already pre-shredded this 1 carrot that we'll be using. Actually, it's about a carrot or a carrot and a half, but whatever you like, that's fine. And in it, and then we're gonna saute this onion with the carrot. And this is going to be our base for our chicken pot pie. And so, dish. And over here in my pot, let me get my pot. I will be putting the carrot in here, which I'm going to saute the carrot and the onions together. And you'll see that in just a moment. I'm going to put my carrot in here. I'm going to put that on while I'm chopping up my potatoes, and I got a rotisserie chicken, and it's going to cut down the time. I'm going to go ahead and put this. Okay. So I got that on, and so I have some small new potatoes. You can use any kind you like. I like these because I can cut them really quick, and I do not have to peel them. So I'm just going to slice them. So I like mine sliced, but you can chop them if you like. And this is a really easy recipe. Anyone can do it. And I'm going to slice mine like this round because I like them just like that. So my mom makes this dish all the time, and there's several different ways on the internet. If you look up, you can see how to make it. But this is my favorite. And it's cold here today. It's actually about 30 degrees, and we had some snow flurries earlier this morning. So just going to get all these potatoes chopped up. And this is just the bulk of the work right here, just chopping these potatoes up. And you could actually, if they were a little bit smaller, if you like, you could actually drop them in there whole. But these are a little bit big, you know. So, but they do have some that are smaller, and you can just drop them in there. You don't have to even worry about, you know, slicing them up like me or chopping them up. And for the top of my crust, I'll be using this biscuit. And I'm going to cut that up and put on the top, and that's going to make my time really quick. A lot of people use different toppings on their chicken pot pie. Some people use pie crust, and some other people use just different toppings, whatever you like. So I'm almost here, finished with this right here. Down a little bit. I'm almost finished. You know, I want it to be really hearty and filling. So I got the potatoes all chopped up, and I'm gonna get this rotisserie chicken I got here, and y'all can go ahead and open the whole thing, because even though I may not use all the chicken today, I can still have it cut up for a different meal. So that's great. And I just go ahead and normally just get in here and just go ahead and debone it. It normally falls off the bone really quick. And, it takes no time to this part. And I'm just waiting for my stove to warm up so the onions and carrots can start frying down. And some people like to leave a little bit of skin on the chicken when they're cooking it for a meal or a casserole or something. But whatever your preference. Again, if you want to keep some skin on or through it, that's fine. But I'm taking most of it. I like dark meat, so I'm going to get a lot of that dark meat off the back of here so I can chop it up to put in that pie. And I just can't wait to eat because I'm hungry today. I just had, I think I had just a hash brown earlier. And Erica cooked some pizza. But other than that, you know, I'm ready for a meal. So I debone it just like that. It comes together really quick. And I'm just going to rough chop it like this. And I'm going to keep this fairly chunky because, you know, it's gonna, as it cooks, it's going to break down. So I'm just going to keep these chunks really big. And I can hear my onion over there and carrots really cooking. So it's going to come really together really fast, as I said. So I got all the chicken deboned. Let me wash my hands right here. And then I have this cream of mushroom roasted garlic. This is my favorite. You could just use cream of chicken, cream of celery, or whatever you have on hand would be good. Or you could just use milk. I've used milk many times, and also I've used just regular chicken broth. So we're going to use this after in our recipe, but let me just go ahead and open it now while that's cooking. And so we got our chicken all chopped up right here. We got our potatoes we chopped, and it comes together in no time. Like I said, then we also have our cream of mushroom soup will be added. So let's just swing over here and see how our carrots and our right here, our carrots and our onions doing. I got me a spoon right here, so I'm just gonna take it, and right now we're gonna add the seasoning to it, and I'll be using my favorite ground black pepper, which I love, so I use this on everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that ground black pepper in here while it's cooking down, and I like to get my onions really brown and bring out that sweet taste. So let's get a lot of black pepper in here because we love black pepper. And then I will also be using Dash because I like Dash. I really like the flavor of that. So just to your taste, you can use 1 or 2 tablespoons, and I normally gauge it. And then I'm gonna just add a little now and gauge it because you can always add more later. And also my favorite, I got this from Aldi's. Or Aldi, some people say. And this is just the original salt-free seasoning. So I'm going to add a little bit of that too to my base. And then I also like the Goya light seasoning. I love this stuff. So I'm going to add a little bit of that. But this is with the blue lid. It's the light one. So I'm going to add some of that. And yes, I'm adding all this just to my onions and carrots now because I want to form a really good base and cook it down. And it's coming along good. And then once I add my other ingredients to this, then I will add this chicken broth to it at the end, and you'll see that as well. So it's looking really good now. So right here is where I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add my 1 cup of water first. And the reason why I want to do that, because my cream of mushroom and garlic, you know, some people like to mix it up and dilute it, but it really doesn't matter because you can mix it all up in this one pot. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my 1 cup of water to this. And again, I just normally just gauge it, you know, because you can always cook it down at this point. If it's too thick or too loose at this point, you can do that throughout the recipe. So don't even worry about that right now. So we got that going. And then we're going to go ahead and add our cream of mushroom soup. And I'm going to get a small spoon to get that out. So I'm going to go ahead and add that now. And you could do this several different ways. You could add it at the end. It doesn't really matter because it's just a 1-pot meal. So just go ahead and let that. I like to, whenever I add an ingredient to the pot, I like for it to come up and get hot before I add the next one. So we're gonna let this get hot and bubbly before we go in with our other ingredients. And it's like, again, it's coming together so fast. It's gonna be so good. So right now, I'm not doing any tasting at all because we still got that roasted chicken to add in it, and that has flavor. So that also has salt. So that's going to add to this seasoning when we put that in. And then the potatoes, you know, need to be seasoned as well. But we're going to taste it once we get to that point. All right, it's looking very good, very tasty. It's bubbling up like it should. Everything is looking really good. And it's bubbling. So right now we're going to go ahead and add the potatoes to it. And we're going to add all these potatoes to it. Just like that. I'm going to set this aside. Just mix it in there. So we're just waiting for it to cook right now. And it looks really good. Everything's looking really well right now. Oh my goodness. And remember we add the carrots first. So it's really cooking good. And at this point, it is looking kind of hearty and chunky. So let's just keep going. And it's just going to take a few minutes. Now, if you do read the back of this cream of whatever soup that you're making, they say you can add water or milk. And that's why I want to add that water first, because I want to see how thick my consistency was. And that's why I left this can right here with my spoon. It's a tip because I do want to add some milk to it because I love that creamy base. And you can use milk, you can use sour cream, you can use half and half, you could use heavy cream. It really doesn't matter because... Okay, y'all, I'm back. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with my phone. So anyway, we're going to be adding a cup of milk, and I put a cup of milk in here. We're going to add that cup of milk. And we want these potatoes to cook anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes or till they get done. So I put my milk in here, so I just want this to come up to a boil really, really good. So while this is coming up to a boil, the next ingredient we'll be adding is the chicken. And then once I add the chicken to it, that is where I'm going to taste it, and then we're going to add any other seasonings. So while this is coming up to the boil, I'm going to talk about my favorite chicken broth season. And I normally get this from Walmart, have it. And here in North Carolina, we have Food Lion. So I buy this at my Food Lion grocery store. And it normally is on the Seasoned Al or the National Al. So normally I mix this, the lid off of it, and get a spoon. And I normally add 1 or 2 tablespoons. And you can just gauge it. I'm going to add 1 for now because I have so much flavor already building up with my rotisserie chicken, with my onions and carrots. So I'm just going to add just like 1/4 cup of water to this and stir it up and add it to here. Now, if you like, you can use bouillon cubes, or also you could have just added some chicken broth to this, but I just love this flavor in that. So I'm going to add that to that while that's cooking. Put my lid back on here. And then, so we're just waiting for it to get thick, and it's hot bubbling. So now I'm going to go ahead and add my chicken because it's time and it's already cooked. So I'm adding my chicken now. It's going to cook down. And it's looking so good and delicious and hearty, as you can see. So I'm just going to get, I think I got a little gristle in here where I didn't take it out. So I'm going to let this cook another 5 minutes. And while I'm doing that, while it's cooking, I'm going to go ahead and get my topping prepared. But first, I need to taste this and see if it's salty or if it needs any more ingredients. That's good. But it always can use some black pepper. So I'm going to add some black pepper to it once I get the lid off. I love me some black pepper. And a lot of black pepper. All right. So now while that is coming to a boil, and let the rest of that potato cook in it. Normally it'll take about 5 or 10 minutes. I put the lid on it, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to make my topping. Screen right here. All right. Move this chicken. It's the excess chicken. I didn't use all of it. I might put it in, I may not. But so I got these biscuits, which I'm going to be using for my top of my chicken pot pie. Ooh, and it's going to pop up just like that. I'm going to take some of these out. I don't need all of them. And in this bowl, I have already melted 2 tablespoons of butter. And then I'm going to add some garlic and herb seasoning to it. About a teaspoon or a tablespoon, depending on how much flavor you want your bread to be, how much you want your bread to be tasting. So I'm just going to take 2 biscuits at a time, and I'm going to cut them in half, and then I'm going to cut it again into 4, and then I'm going to separate them into this butter mixture. And you can separate them more if you like. That was for my chicken, when I cut my chicken. But I think 4 is just plenty enough. And I'm going to add them in there, and then I'm going to cut this into 4. And I'm just going to put them in there like that because I want these biscuits to get a lot of seasoning and a lot of butter on there, so when we cook them, it could be delicious. So, and you can just get oh yeah, we are cooking the whole pan of biscuits. Well, it's not pan, but the whole, you know what I'm saying, the whole container of biscuits today, because sometimes it's just not enough. When you put it on top, sometimes you just want more of that bread on the side. So that's what I'm doing today. So I got it all in here, and I'm taking them apart, and then I'm gonna get a spoon, and I'm gonna mix it up right here. So I put a spoon, and I'm just gonna mix it up to get everything, to get all that butter on all the, and oh, I can smell it already. It smells so good. So once you get all that stirred up, you can just set it aside and add the butter on. Set aside and check on our chicken pot pie and see it's bubbling, and it's good. Ooh, it looks good. And make sure when you stirring using your pans, make sure you get to the bottom of that pan, because your carrots and your onions tend to stick, or some of your meat tends to stick down there. So this looking really, really good. So I just wanted to thick it up a little bit more before we drop these biscuits on here. And then that's it. That's pretty much it. I'm going to taste it one more time, because I want this seasoning to be really seasoned. I like my food to be seasoned well. So let me just taste it one more time, because that's what I'm going to do. It's good. But I am going to add just a little bit more of my chicken broth seasoning, because I like that chicken flavor. And I'm heavy on the seasoning, but I want my food to be scrumdiddlyumptious. And I'm going to just give it about 5 more minutes to make sure that that potato is done, because once it go in the oven, it's only going to cook for like 10 or 15 minutes, you know, for that top of that biscuit to cook. So, and I already preheated my oven to 350, and well, just read the package, whatever product you're using, just read the package, and it will tell you how to, you know, cook your biscuits or your crescent rolls or whatever you like, or pie crust or whatever you want to top it on the top. And we'll be back in 5 minutes to put the topping on. All right. Hey y'all. Okay, I'm back. So I'm going to take the lid off. And I know it's done. So I'm going to give it one more stir. And it's perfect. Oh my God. It's so scrumptious. It's perfect. So we're just going to just drop the top of our biscuits off. Let me get it, put that mixture on it. And I'm just going to drop them on the top of it. Just like that. It's melting to room temperature, but that's what I like, because I like it to pop up like that. And we're just going to drop them on there like that. Randomly. You don't have to be in close or no certain way. Just drop them on there. And then when it bake up, it's going to be so delicious. I like to get some on the sides too, so we can get that crust browning on the sides. So we're just going to add this to the mixture really quick. And then when we come back, I'm going to show you the end product. Just make sure you just drop enough in there where it can spread on the whole pot pie. And it should look like this. So when we come back, I'm going to show you the amazing chicken pot pie. Hey y'all, I'm back. End product, my amazing chicken pot pie. Anyone can try this recipe and let me know how you liked it in the comments. And just follow me, like and subscribe, and follow me at Tanya Cardoza on YouTube. And this is why I cook, because I love making delicious food.